Hey everyone, Nick from Whiteboard here for another Whiteboard Wednesday session. This week we're going to have some fun with a little math, specifically the math behind blood testing and why employers shouldn't do blood testing for all employees. Really, when you look at biometric screenings or blood testing, employers are really trying to accomplish three big things. One, stratify the health risks of their population. Two, help employees identify health risks that they may or may not know that they have. And three, identify certain diseases early. As it relates to the latter, the goal is, or the belief is, if you identify those diseases early, you have more opportunity for treatment, prevention, and things like that. All three of these reasons have been largely debunked, but we don't have time to go through every single one, so I only have time to go through one example. If you want to learn more, go to our website, www.wellable.co. Go to our resources. We have an ebook called The 5 Minutes of Biometric Screenings. It gives a quick and easy to understand synopsis of 5 big studies that help articulate why biometric screenings don't make sense for employers. So my favorite example here, it's from a math professor at George Mason University. Her name is Rebecca Golden. She goes through a hypothetical example that I think does a really good job in explaining why overdiagnosis or overtreatment is an issue. So you have 1,000 people or 1,000 employees. Like every employer, some are healthy, some are unhealthy, some are young, some are old, some are symptomatic, some are asymptomatic. You're literally going to test everyone regardless of their health status, age, or anything like that. For this example, there's a disease, 2% of the population had that disease. So 20 people of the 1,000, 98% do not, 980 people. The employer decides they want to draw everyone's blood, they want to send that blood to a lab, run some tests, and look at those results to help identify who has the disease and who does not. The problem is that the test is not 100% accurate. So in the example she gave, 9% true positive rate. That means if I have the disease, the test correctly identifies me as having that disease 90% of the time. 95% true negative rate, that means if I do not have the disease, the test correctly identifies me as not having that disease 95% of the time. So if you look at the numbers of the group that have the disease, 20 people, 9% accurate, 18 people have the disease. These individuals can do some treatment, do some prevention, things like that. Unfortunately, 2 people, or 10%, are identified as not having the disease, but they actually have it. These individuals may not do anything, which is not really the goal, what the employer sought to accomplish. Of the group that does not have the disease, 95% accuracy, 931 people correctly identified. 5% of individuals are incorrectly identified as having the disease, even though they do not have it. So if you look at the numbers, 18 people of the disease group have the disease or labeled as having the disease. 49 people of the non-disease group are labeled as having the disease. That's a total of 67 people. Only 18 have been identified correctly. That's 27%. Less than a third of the people identified as having the disease actually have it. So you see how staggering that number is. For the people in this 49 group, they may incur additional tests, some of which may be harmful to them. There's cost to the employer, there's cost to the employees for these tests. This kind of example for explaining why we shouldn't over-test or why we shouldn't over-diagnose doesn't even take into consideration that blood tests cost money, that you have to give a reward or incentive to the employees for them to do it. If you layer those on, even more reason why you should not actually screen and blood test every employee. Hopefully this is helpful. If you want more information, check out our website and join us next week for another Whiteboard Wednesday.